Well, hello. Welcome to Collision Live, our live stream for Youth Group of Foundation United Methodist Church. Yeah, glad you're here. So I see we have a few people online. We may be getting a few more here in just a little bit. Hope you guys are doing well and that you've had a great week. Here's your fun fact for the day. Did you know that a group of wild rabbits is called a fluffle? A fluffle. Which interestingly enough is Alex Ortiz's nickname, Fluffle. Yeah, I'm just stating facts. Like I don't just make up stuff. That's what it really is. So, group of bunnies, a fluffle, or a colony. And the interesting thing about bunnies, did you know if they put something directly in front of their nose, they can't see it because it's their blind spot, right directly in front of their nose. Crazy, weird. Yeah. Well, that's all I got. Let's go ahead and get started with Collision Live. All right. So we got some fun stuff for you planned for tonight. I only see just a few viewers online right now. So if there's somebody that's not on here that you're like, hey, where's so-and-so? Then you need to send them a quick text and be like, hey, join the live stream. We want you on. So I think some of our regulars are not on yet. So give them a quick text if you would. That would help me out. All right. Well, a couple things for tonight. Just let me give you the roundup of everything that's going on tonight. Here in just a second, we're going to have our YouTube video of the week. We are also going to have, we're going to check in with Alex and Mitchell. So I know that you missed them last week. Maybe that's why we have so few viewers right now. It's because you were like, oh, Alex and Mitchell weren't on last week, so I don't want to watch. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe. But they are going to be on tonight, and they have a special guest for us. They're going to update us on all the news, all the memes that have been going around. So very excited about that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And we have a game called Order Up. You're going to have to, I'm going to give you a list of things, and you've got to put them in order. So I think you can handle it. There's a few of them that are fairly easy and a few that are a little hard. So you might be able to do it. You might not. I don't know. So order up. And then finally, we are going to end with our last week of our series on science and faith. We're going to continue talking about that and sum up what we've been talking about. So I'm super excited about it. We even got a special video at the beginning of it, so that's going to be great. And then at the very end, we are going to do our drawing for some free candy. If you like candy and you're a human being, then you have a chance to win some candy. So start talking in the live chat. Let me know that you're in there. Right now, I already see some people in there. So I see Mitchell. I see Abby. Where's her name? Where'd her name go? Abby's right here. I see Addie as well. I already started talking to Addie a little bit in the live chat. I know Alex is watching as well. Alyssa, good to see you. I'm glad you're on here. Alyssa's on there. I think we got Stormy as well. Let me know if like a brother or sister is watching with you because I don't want to leave them out. Aniela's here. So I see a lot of them. So we have a few others that I don't know if they're on or not. So please talk in the live chat. Let me know that you're here, and you'll have a chance to win some candy at the end of the live stream. So be sure to invite friends. If you see anybody that's not on here and you're like, hey, what are they not doing? They're always on here. Send them a quick text and remind them to hop on. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. Let's get to our YouTube video of the week.
Time to face justice, you He didn't let me finish. Rude. Maybe next time you'll think twice before holding up a convenience store, Daryl Cheflosky.
Did you steal my wallet?
What? No, I'm just using it to identify...
Help! Help! I'm being mugged!
Oh my heavens! George, call the cops.
No, ma'am. I have the situation under control.
Don't start with me, you Comic-Con reject.
Hurtful?
This is a good and decent neighborhood.
It's really not. Crime is super high in this city.
You're super high in this city.
Is that a drug reference?
You give that man back his wallet right now. I have a gun. It's locked in a safe and is unloaded because, you know, guns. But I'm not afraid to go back in here, find the Post-it note I wrote the safe's combination on, unlock the safe, open the smaller safe that I keep the bullets in, load the gun, come back here, and shoot you in the face. I swear I will do it.
I believe you.
Hands in the air!
This is a mistake.
Shoot him, officer! He's high! And he has rope. Who carries rope? It's the middle of the freaking night.
Okay, why don't you let us handle this, ma'am?
Give me 10 minutes. I'll get my gun.
No, ma'am! Oh! Okay, hands where I can see them.
Sorry, officer. Some other time. Oh! Ow! Oh, that hurts so bad! Oh! That thing weighs a ton! All of me is broken.
What is wrong with you?
I thought it would support my weight. Flippin' Greco-Roman architecture.
You just murdered that guy right in front of us.
Not accurate. I don't kill people. At most, this is manslaughter. But I don't generally manslaughter people either.
Huh? We got a 1086 here.
Hey, we don't know what we've got here, okay? So just hold up on the numbers and such.
Possible 1086.
Thank you.
We're bringing you in.
No, you need me, which is why I have to escape, for the good of the city. Ah, dang it! That was a 5-hour energy.
Unbelievable.
Nocturnal crime fighting is difficult, okay? Your circadian rhythm gets all messed up. I need this to keep my senses sharp. One false move, and I could... Oh! Did you just shoot me?
You better believe it, you emo fashion emergency. This is my neighborhood.
I'm not robbing anyone.
And killing.
I'm not killing anyone.
You killed that man? That's it. I'm getting the shotgun.
Oh, I hate this job.
That's fine, because you don't have to do it alone any longer.
Are you hiding behind that stone?
My cape is stuck. I didn't realize it till after I threw the smoke pellet. I thought maybe I could hide.
What happened?
Oh, you're alive! Oh, thank goodness. I couldn't stand another life on my conscience.
What?
I mean one life. Just the one.
I'm still bringing you in.
I don't think so.
Say hello to justice, you...
All right. Whoa, jeez. Something went crazy here. There we go. Go back to what I was. Sorry. All right. Got 8 million things going on here.
I just wanted to see your face.
Hold on just a second. Here we go. There we go. Change things up. All right. So, I hope you enjoyed that. That was the good JK Studios, the old Casta Studio C, doing something fun. So, we've got our news and memes, and let me get everybody up here. Looks like we've got Alex, we've got Mitchell, and here's our special guest, Paul South.
What's up?
And so, we're pretty excited that Paul gets to join us. Paul is one of our adult leaders that helps with youth stuff pretty much all the time. And I probably can say publicly that we're friends. And so...
I wouldn't make it public.
Okay, okay, I'll make this video private after it's aired. So, anyway, let's catch up just real quick. Mitchell, how you doing, man?
Great.
Yeah, you look all really nice and dressed up.
Well, Alex and I are trying to shift our image, our public brand.
Okay.
So just
Well,
live with that.
it was pretty tainted before, so we'll see if dress codes can make it better.
After the whole thing with like the ducks and the no.
Yeah.
I understand. Alex, how you doing, man?
I'm doing quite well, Mr. Sharp.
We're so formal at Foundation United Methodist Church. Mr. Paul South.
Yes.
Glad you could join us. You been doing all right?
I've been doing great. I like that tie there, Mr. Ortiz.
Thank
Or,
you.
excuse me, Mr. Ortizzle.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you guys take it over and update us on some news and memes. Don't forget to explain how this works with Mr. Paul there.
Of
so
course,
he knows
of course.
exactly what to do and when to do it. So I will leave it in your hands. Ooh, oh, whoa! This is gonna be good. Okay, the viewers haven't seen it yet, but here it comes. It's good stuff. So professional. All right, I'll hand it over to you.
Yes, Richard down in accounting gave us some more budgeting, so we were able to upgrade the look.
Yeah, so basically, Mr. South, what used to be formerly, I don't know, it was a really dumb name.
Well, not even formally, informally.
Yeah, now it's formal. So this is Alex and Mitchell's professional web show. Normally we'd have you say, welcome to this, and then say the name of the show, but that's not very professional. So I want to thank you for being here with us today. And without further ado, we're going to move on to the next slide. So we wanted to address why we changed the show. So Alex, why don't you take it away? Mr.
Yes.
Apologies.
So, thank you, Mr. Bonner. First off, one, it's more professional. It's more fitting for our audience, especially those, larger profit margins and increased job security for Clinton.
Yeah, you can see the
And,
graph at the bottom right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, Paul, Mr. South, normally the way this goes is that we take turns going through the slides and reading them and making humorous comments on each of the slides. So, first we're going to go over stocks and professional cultural phenomena. So,
Perfect.
yeah, it's right up your alley.
Yes.
So, if you'd like to comment on what's on the screen here, Mr.
Well, if
South.
you see the Dow Jones average there had a change of negative 244.56 and a little bit of change there. That's kind of typical of what happens in a little bit of a downturn like we are right now. I don't know. This is next slide.
All right, great. Here we have a picture of Bill Gates, really smart man. All right, next slide, Alex.
The soybean. Well, real quick, I can hear my mom laughing in the next room. So first off, the soybean prices have hit a 2-year high, buoyed by Chinese demand. A key cash crop for you U.S. farmers out there. Fell at 16% at the start of the year, but due to the Chinese heavily buying this product, it is time to start planting and start harvesting.
Great.
Are they going to sell that back to us too?
Probably.
In this economy?
Mr. Bonner,
All right.
you make me laugh.
Next, we have some humorous images. We took it old school. So here we have, I'd say the negotiations went much better than expected. Bedtime was pushed back 10 minutes. Ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha.
My daughter tried that.
What's her bedtime? Like 8?
8:30.
Oh, okay. That's very lenient of you. Would you like to read this one, Mr. South?
You come to my mom's yard sale and you insult my toys? I'm going to let you and your 25 cents walk off like this never happened. He's a tough negotiator.
Yeah, he is.
He's dressed nicer than we are.
Yeah, he's dressed to the nines. What does that mean? Nine.
Nines.
Yeah.
I've never heard that phrase before. I'm only 18.
Oh, my bad. I bet Clinton knows.
Dressed for the nines?
Dressed
I
to
know
the
suit. I don't know what that means either.
Joe?
Next, Alex. Mr. Ortiz, my apologies.
I didn't choose the entrepreneurship life. The entrepreneur life chose me.
You say that 3 times fast?
Oh my gosh. Entrepreneur.
Good
I want one
job.
of those.
Yeah.
They always
Well-
have those on the cereal box covers, but they never like
Work.
actually have them.
I just want the Kool-Aid.
You think that's Kool-Aid?
Well, maybe,
More like Kool-Aid
What-
from Jonestown.
Alex and I are really out of our element with this whole professional thing, but we're doing our best.
you guys are doing awesome.
How to find out how old a tree is. How to find out how old is a tree. Well said. If you know when the tree was planted, you can easily and accurately determine its age. No need to thank me. It's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
It is.
spot on.
All right, yeah, that's all there is to that. Mr. South, would you like to read this one?
Sure. Close-up pictures of tennis players just look like people trying really hard to control their telekinetic powers. Ooh, that one girl is like got an angry face too.
Yeah.
She's the villain in this this evil
Isn't it?
tennis player movie.
And that guy looks kind of like Spock.
Spock? I don't
They
know.
are-
I think it kind of looks like Alex.
Oh,
You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to speak to HR about this one.
Next, we have some recent headlines. Mr. Ortiz.
Thank you, Mr. Bonner. Residents of Florida urged to evacuate, not because of the hurricane, but just because it's Florida.
That's good advice.
Hmm.
that guy's sharply dressed.
We really need to stop putting in pictures where people are better dressed than us, Alex. That's huge
That's
oversight.
It is quite bad for business.
We'll talk to Richard about that.
Yeah.
Amazon Alexa leaps into garbage disposal after being asked to play Let It Go for 10,000th time. Wow, I can't talk. I have a case of the Alexes today.
Okay.
I almost did that myself.
Threw your Alexa into the garbage disposal?
No, put myself in the garbage disposal after hearing.
Who's playing Let It Go? Is that when Clinton comes over?
Oh,
Absolutely,
He loves that song.
it's his fave.
every youth council meeting.
Yeah, it's crazy. He wants the praise band to do it every Sunday, and it's like it's something that honors God, but it's weird.
Sesame Street producers deny rumors that Bert Ernie are Russian spies. It looks pretty convincing that he is with that hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's Bert reading the Communist Manifesto. I don't know where we found this news article, but it's from 2018. But I think I don't know if Sesame Street has Russian spies in there, then we should probably deal with that. But,
Yeah. Amazing. Family gets ready for church in just 14 hours. And look at them.
And Katie would still be late.
Heyo.
and we invited her to be on our show multiple times, and she always texts us the next day like, "I'm on the Skype." I'm like, "Oh, it was last night." It's pretty annoying. Lastly, we have Foundation United Methodist Church Youth Ministry announcements. Pumpkin Run. Foundation will put on a 5K race on October 31st at West Temple Park. All proceeds go to fund youth, children, and Mother's Day Out programs at Foundation. Sign up with the link in the description. If Clinton
So
remembers to put it there.
you run with the pumpkin?
Yeah, the more pumpkins.
Yes.
Well, it's 5K. You run with 5,000 pumpkins.
Oh, okay,
That's
nice.
like- yeah, you have to
Yeah.
see.
That's got to be
It's
difficult.
kind of like the Carrot of Jerry.
Oh, okay. So you can have partners help you with carrying that.
Yeah, you have to somehow fit 5,000 pumpkins in a jerry can. It's crazy.
It's a blender.
Mr. Ortiz.
and thank you, Mr. Bonner. Collision Live will be continuing through the rest of September, but starting October 4th, we will begin our meetings in person.
You know what? That's a perfect day to start. You know why?
Why?
Mr. South?
That's my birthday.
Whoa.
Whoa, it's also Addie White's birthday, right?
She reminded me today at church.
It's going to be a party.
Yeah, it is.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope that that corporate funza gets us some cupcakes or something. That'll be a good time.
Yes.
All right.
In my signature sprinkler move.
And you love those in the office parties.
Yes.
All right. Well, now, Mr. South, normally the guest would say, "This has been," and then proceed to repeat the name of the show. So if you'd like to do that, then go ahead. But if not, it's up to you.
I'll do that. This has been Alex and Mitchell's professional web show featuring Paul South.
Thank you so much. This has been incredible.
Well, thanks for
Quite the
having me
honor.
on.
Of course.
Awesome. Well done. I particularly enjoy the No Comic Sans font. It warms my heart, and I feel like you guys are growing up. You're actually maturing.
Well, it's part of our agreement with Richard, but
And you're
I thought we
still
were gonna expire.
Richard's a stickler for fonts. If my timesheet's not in a certain font, he rejects it, and I don't get paid. So that's what he
In
does.
the YouTube comments, give Alex and I an idea for what to do for our next show, because we're running out of ideas. Thank you.
That is true. If you have ideas for Alex and Mitchell for their web show, you need to let them know. So next week is the last live stream we're doing, but then we're going to start doing it in person. And I think Alex and Mitchell would like to keep doing their show. So if you have other
we would.
ideas, they're going to be like in person live. So there's no hiding their faces when they're making comments on the news and memes. You're going to see it all. So, all right. Well, thank you all very much. Paul, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate it. And we're going to say goodbye for now. So
Thanks a lot.
see you guys.
Till our next time, Clinton.
Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Oh, jeez. Man, those guys, they're just funny. They make me laugh. I like Alex and Mitchell. Yeah, that's true. You don't use Comic Sans. You don't use Papyrus font either. Neither of those are good. All right. I'm trying to make sure things are still looking good. You guys are still commenting, so I think our stream is still good. We are going to move on to game time. So we are going to play a game called Order Up. All right. So at the end of the live stream, I'm going to be drawing to give away candy. So during the game, we're not going to keep track of who's getting correct answers or anything like this. So I want to see how good you guys are at this. I think you could make it happen. So let's go ahead and get started on it. Let's go kind of explain. You got to try to put these things in order. So I'm going to give you 4 things, and you've got to put them in order based on the facts of the question. So I think you guys can do this. Let's try it out and see what you got. First one, put the following 4 letters in order of Roman numeral value from least to greatest. From least to greatest. So if you don't know Roman numerals, you're probably just going to have to guess, which is okay. I think you'll make it. But if you have a hint of what the Roman numerals might stand for, then try to put them in order. I'd like to see if you could make it happen. Seems like not very many people know Roman numerals as much as they used to, and that's all right. Those things kind of happen sometimes. So let me do a couple things right here. Oh, by the way, I did look up Dress to the Nines, and they don't know exactly where it started. It was mentioned in a few poems here and there, like a few hundred years ago. But one of the things they think it might be is that a tailor would often use 9 yards of material to make a suit. So that's often attributed to that Dress to the Nines. And then also there was this 99th Regiment of soldiers that were always like dressed up really well or something like that. So the 9 in that Dress to the Nines. But they don't know for sure where that came from. But I'll leave that up to you guys. You can look up more of that if you want to. But for this one right here, let's see if we have any answers. What do you think the Roman numeral value would be from least to greatest? CDLM. What are some of your guesses? So we've got Abby on there. She's doing MLDC. Mitchell's going with LCDM, like LCD. And Addie's going with LDCM. So we've got 3 different answers. Nice. Well done. I'll give you just a little bit more time to put in your answer if you think you know what it is. And then I am going to make sure that the stream stuff is still going all right. So let's go to our watch page here. I'll give you just a little bit more time to figure out if you know the answer. So here we go. Aniela put in her answer. She's got LCDM. Okay, so she's the same as Mitchell. So, all right, that's good. Looks like Stormy also put in her answer as well. She went with NGIF, which are none of the letters. But very close, Stormy. Very close. You almost had it. All right, we're going to go ahead and go to the answer. Here's the answer coming out. Let's see if any of you are right. The answer is LCDM. Oh, looks like Mitchell and Aniela were correct. So well done. Good job, guys. I'm wondering if you looked that up. If you didn't, I'm super impressed. If you did look it up, I'm not that mad about it, but you really should just try to guess on your own. I think you can do it. All right, let's move on. We've got lots of these. Put the following teams in order by most Super Bowls won. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Denver Broncos, the New York Jets, or the Detroit Lions. So you want to put them in order of most Super Bowls won. So which of these teams has won the most, and then the second most, third most, fourth most? So I'm just trying to explain it the best that I can. And it looks like also Nancy is playing. Yeah, got some Nance up in here. She got the correct answer as well. She knows her Roman numerals. She pretty much has to. She's like a professor, so she's got to know that kind of stuff. Then Gary was weighing in on the 9s. He was saying that represents the maximal single digit, so it's approaching perfection. You also have other idioms like you're on cloud 9. So there's something about 9s that are cool, I guess. So, all right, we already got a few answers coming in. We got Mitchell going with Steelers, Broncos, Lions, Jets. Looks like Gary's very close, but he's changed his last two. He's going Steelers, Broncos, Jets, Lions. Aniela's going with Broncos, Steelers, Lions, Jets. And looks like Addie is going with Broncos, Steelers, Lions, Jets. Nice. So Aniela and Addie are in the same boat, making the same wager. Yeah, Stormy, I'm right there with you. I'm not a big sports guy, so I probably couldn't even answer this. I don't really like watching sports unless it's live. Like if I'm watching on TV, it's kind of boring, but live, there is something about watching live sports. But I'm not a big sports guy anyway, so I get it. So if you don't know the answer to this one, it's all right. It's not a big deal. I'll give you just a few more seconds to see if you want to put any answers in. All right, we got another one. Nancy Bonner going with Steelers, Broncos, Jets, Lions. Ooh, nice. It looks like Nancy and Gary are going with the same one. Okay, and then it looks like Abigail. She's saying it's the New York Jets, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Denver Broncos, and the Detroit Lions. Excellent. But that's funny. All right. Stormy is going with Lions, Jets, Broncos, Steelers. Excellent. All right. Here is our answer coming up. It's the Steelers, the Broncos, the Jets, and the Lions. Nice. Looks like Nancy Bonner was right. Gary White was right. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that got on that. Oh, well done. You guys did awesome. All right, let's move it on. We got to keep going with the game. All right, put the following planets in order by closest to farthest from Earth. Okay, closest to farthest from Earth. You got Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, or Mars. Which one is closest? And then on down to the farthest. Give you just a few. Give you like a minute here to answer. Just a reminder, there is a little bit of a delay. So me talking, and then there's like 15 seconds before you guys actually get and see the slide. So I got to do all this random talking. And yeah, so I just got to fill this airtime so it's not dead. Oh, Mitchell's pointing out that for the last question, Gary got the numbers wrong. So technically he loses. And I can't disagree with you, Mitchell. That is kind of the rules we've always said. So if you're going to be detail-oriented, make sure you got the details right. That's what I always say. All right, we already got a couple answers here. Mitchell's going with Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus. Gary White is going with the same answer. So is Stormy. It looks like Addie's going the same way. And so is Aniela. I think you guys just know your planets really well. But that would be really embarrassing if you were all wrong. That would be pretty bad. Yeah, I totally agree, Gary. Pluto is also a planet. Hashtag save Pluto. It's true. It's true. All right. So let's go ahead and see the answer here so we can get moving. All right. It's Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus. You guys are on it. You knew that one easily. That was an easy one. All right. Put these countries in order by population from largest to smallest. Italy, Japan, United States, India. Italy, Japan, United States, India. So which one do you think is the most populated on down to the smallest? I would love to go to Italy one day. I'm a big fan of Italian food, and it would be a dream come true to go to Italy and eat real Italian food. That I'm pretty sure I would die a happy person if that were the case. I'd love it. Japan would be pretty fun too. I don't know if I'd want to go to India. I don't know. The Taj Mahal might be really cool to see. That would be pretty awesome. But yeah. Here we go. We already got a few answers coming in. Looks like Mitchell is going with India, U.S., Japan, Italy. All right. And I know some of you, make sure you're putting in your own answers. You're not like trying to look at what everybody else is putting. Let's see if your answers are correct. Looks like we've got Mitchell's. We've got Stormy going with India, Italy, U.S., Japan. Then we have Nancy, India, U.S., Japan, Italy. Gary going the same thing. Addie is mixing it up a little bit. She's got United States, Japan, India, and Italy. And Abby, she's still working on her reading, so she's going Africa, Asia, Spain, and Colorado. So yeah, I'll give you just a few more seconds to put in your answer, and we'll see what we got here. Yeah, it's true. Abby, you're right, Stormy. Abby just goes all out. All right, the answer is, boom, India, United States, Japan, and Italy. There we go. Some of you got that. Yeah, there are a few of you. Nancy, Gary, looks like Mitchell. Nice. It's all the smart people. That's what it is. All right, moving on. Boom. Put the following movies in order by the most money made to the least. You got Frozen, which, let it go. I don't play that song all the time. I hate it. So I don't know why I'm being smeared publicly on the Alex and Mitchell show. I don't listen to that song. So you got Frozen. You got Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, great movie. Furious 7, the Fast and Furious movies, the best movies ever. Gary White hates them, so don't listen to his opinion about them. But Fast and Furious, I mean, that's the movies of a generation that will stand the test of time. People will watch them for years and years. And then Black Panther, our cool, awesome Black Panther actor who played that just recently passed away from colon cancer, so that's pretty sad. But Black Panther's a good movie. He did a good job in it. So we're already getting some answers right here. We've got Mitchell going with Frozen, Black Panther, Wonder Woman, and Furious 7. Looks like we have a few other answers. They're still coming in on my software, a little delayed. Looks like Stormy's going with Frozen, Wonder Woman, Black Panther, Furious 7. Gary, obviously, sticking with his opinion, the Furious series is the worst. Abby's going with Wonder Woman, Black Panther, Frozen, and Furious 7. Stormy, you've never watched Fast and the Furious? Oh man, we just need to have like an all-weekend youth marathon of the Fast and Furious movies. Because I'm pretty sure the gospel's presented in every single one of them. I don't know why Gary doesn't like them, but all right, we got a few others. Addie's going with Wonder Woman, Black Panther, Fast and Furious, and Frozen. Nancy's going with Frozen, Wonder Woman, Black Panther, and Furious 7. So, all right, here we go. The answer is coming up right now. Boom. It's Furious 7. Furious, man, those movies make buku bucks. Then Black Panther, then Frozen, then Wonder Woman. I don't think anybody got it. And I gave you a huge hint about how Fast and Furious movies are the best ever. I don't understand it, guys. I was trying to help you out, and you dropped the ball. All right, let's move on. Boom. Put the following presidents in order by the oldest to the newest: George Washington, Bill Clinton, Ronald Reagan, and Thomas Jefferson. Put the following presidents in order by the oldest to the newest. So I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. What do you think it's going to be? I'm going to look up here just real quick, double check how many more of these questions we got, because we are running out of time here, so we do need to move it along. So, all right, so we're on that one. So this is one. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions left. So let's do this. We are gonna do one more, and we'll pick a really good one to do it. So we'll do the next one, and then we're gonna go ahead and end, so we can go ahead and jump into our lesson for tonight, because we are running a little late. That's what happens when you let Alex and Mitchell do a whole show. All right, here we go. We already got some answers in here. So we were putting the presidents in the order from the oldest to newest. So you got Washington, Jefferson, Reagan, and Clinton. That's what Gary's going with. Mitchell is doing the same thing. Washington, Jefferson, Reagan, Clinton. Nancy's going with Washington, Jefferson, Reagan, Clinton. Addie's going with Jefferson, Bill Clinton, George Washington, and Ronald Reagan. And Abby's going with Washington, Thomas Jefferson, then Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton. All right. And that is true, Gary White. Paul South is older than all of these. He's seen many presidents go through. That's true. His birthday's coming up. Wish him happy birthday. All right, I will give you just a few more seconds to put in your answer if you haven't already. See, even his daughter agrees. Aniela agrees that these are facts that are said. So she knows her dad is old. But hey, it's good. Maybe that means he has a lot of wisdom. I don't know. All right. Hey, here we go. The answer coming up now. It's George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Ronald Reagan, and Bill Clinton. Obviously, George Washington, the first president. So obviously he has to be at the top. So there we go. All right. And it looks like several of you got it. You were right on it. Okay, let's do the last question. Here we go. Put the Pixar movies in order of debut from earliest to latest. Okay, earliest to latest. All right. So you're trying to find the one that debuted the farthest back and then go from there, from the earliest to the latest. I believe you do, right? That's the right way. It's got it set up here. Let me look just to double check. I want to make sure that this is all legit, you guys. Nobody's fooling anybody. Yeah, it's going all the way back and then moving forward in time. So your first answer should be the oldest Pixar movie and then moving from there. Okay? So some of you guys know this stuff. You're going to be on it. And some of you might just have to just guess, which is okay. That's all right. All right. I'll give you just about a minute. Some of you have already got some up. Awesome. Okay, so Stormy's going with Up, Brave, The Good Dinosaur, and Finding Dory. Looks like Aniela's going Up, Brave, Good Dinosaur, Finding Dory. Addie is going with Brave, Up, Good Dinosaur, and Finding Dory. Abigail's going with Up, Brave, Good Dinosaur, Finding Dory. Then Nancy Bonner's going with The Good Dinosaur, Up, Finding Dory, and Brave. I'm not quite sure where Gary's going with this, because these were none of the answers, but Satan, Fast and Furious 2, etc. So Satan came before them. I think Satan came before all these Pixar movies, but I don't know. Maybe he's making some kind of statement. You never know with that. With Gare Bear there. All right, Mitchell Bonner's going with Up, Brave, Dory, and The Good Dinosaur. I'll give you just a few more seconds, and then we are going to see the answer. Here we go. Coming up now. Boom. It's Up, Brave, The Good Dinosaur, and Finding Dory. Well done. Looks like Stormy had it. Looks like Aniela had it. Well done. So did Abby. You guys are on it. You knew it. You knew it. Mitchell, he had it as well. No. You were off. Up, Brave, Dory, Good Dino. Yeah. Mitchell was off. Well done, guys. Pat yourself on the back. You did excellent on that one. And that was our game. Order up. Order up. That's what it was. Good times. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. Let's pray, and then we'll get to our last week of our series of Science and Faith. Don't forget, at the end of the devotion, I'm going to do a drawing for some candy. So if you'd like some, then stay tuned. I'm going to do a drawing, and you could get free candy, and I'll deliver it to you. Yeah, whatever candy that you want. So here we go. Let's pray. God, thank you so much that you love us, that you take care of us. We thank you that you're just good to us, that you show us mercy, and that, Jesus, you died for us and rose again. God, we just ask that as we finish our series on science and faith, that, God, we would see the gifts that you have given to us in science and in our faith. We love you, and it's in your name we pray, Jesus. Amen. All right, so the last 3 weeks, we've been talking about science and faith. We've seen that science and faith, they don't have to be in conflict. We've also learned that God is creator, and we're made to reflect his image in the world. And then finally, last week, we learned that science and faith are like two books that God has given us. Both are helpful. And just a little bit of a hint, we're going to look a little bit more into that tonight for our lesson. Science and faith, they can work together. And there are real scientists who are Christians too, all right? Sometimes people assume that if you're a scientist, you don't really believe in God, but that is not the case. There are many amazing scientists in our world today who are Christians as well. And so I want to show you a quick video. This is actually a real scientist who is a member of our congregation at Foundation. Her name is Laura Hargrove, and she's going to tell you just a little bit of why she likes science. So I wanted to give her an opportunity to share some of her thoughts. So here we go.
Hey y'all, for those of y'all who don't know me, my name is Laura Hargrove, and I have been a member at Foundation for, gosh, I guess a little over 2 years now. Clinton contacted me and asked me if I could make a little video to talk about my faith and science and how they can be, I can have both, because sometimes that can be a hard thing. So for those, again, that don't know me, I am a scientist by trade. I'm actually at UMHB right now because I teach here part-time. I teach anatomy and physiology. And I went to school here, got a Bachelor of Science, and then I went and got my master's degree at A&M University in Medical Sciences, which is basically like a benchtop research degree. So I worked with cells and petri dishes and even with some mice and rats, and worked on different types of disease. I love science. It is something that just speaks to me. It clicks with me in a way that nothing else ever has. And so when I left UMHB to go pursue my graduate degree, I left what I knew. And what I mean by that is I grew up in church. I came to a Baptist university, and then all of a sudden I was at A&M, and I am in this super, just almost worldly atmosphere compared to what I knew. And it was very different, and it was hard for me at first to reconcile, excuse me, what I had heard from people at A&M, and you know, whether they just did not believe in God, whether they just, you know, downright dismissed God and their faith or anything from what I grew up with, which was just this bubble of Christianity. And I struggled for a long time with that at A&M. I definitely had a crisis of faith where basically I decided, okay, how do I know that what I believe and have believed basically my entire life is real and true? And I finally came down to, and God really spoke to me. I worked through a whole bunch of questions that I won't go into here, but God really worked in me, and he said, you know, I can't explain everything, right? I can't explain everything. Science can't explain everything. But I know what God has done in my life, right? I am very aware of, and I can see how he's moved in my life throughout my entire life. And so that to me solidified my faith. And then, not to mention all of the fact that as I learn about the human body, different disease states, things like that, I grow closer to God because I think how amazing that our Creator made us so detailed in such a small way. Right now in our class, we're looking at the cell and how the cell, just the cell, and we're made of hundreds of trillions of these things, can, regulate itself and talk to itself, and it's very busy, right? And 99.999% of the time, everything happens fine in our body without us having to really even consider that at a cellular level, things are happening that are very detailed and very complicated. And God created all of that. That wasn't just happenstance, that was created. We were knit together in our mother's womb. He is intimately involved. He holds our atoms together, right? That's him. And so for me, I don't see how I can separate science and faith. To me, they're the same thing. Because as I learn, I grow closer to God because I can see what he's created, even in little small snippets, because I certainly won't be able to grasp everything that he has made and the detail and the complexity of all of that. And then you can get even bigger, right? Let's say you're a science or you're a space person, right? You can get even bigger and say, oh my gosh, the universe and how huge it is, right? And he made all of that. Okay, so it is fascinating to me. And I've gone on long enough, but I just want to say that it is possible to have faith and be a scientist, or at least enjoy science, because to me, they're interconnected. I can't imagine having one and not the other, and believing in one and not the other, because they're so interwoven. So I would love to talk with you more. If you have any questions about the research I did, or if you think about going into any kind of science fields, I would love to chat with you. I'm certainly passionate about it. And so just, y'all can have my information. You can get it from Clinton, or you can go to the church's directory to get it too. So I'm gonna go get ready for class now, and I hope y'all are having a great week. Bye, friends.
Awesome. So that was my good friend Laura. She's really cool. She's very nice, very humble, and she plays a mean piano as well. But right now, right there, you just heard that she can't imagine her faith and science that she practices and loves being separated, that they go together. And I think it's cool to hear that from someone who is an actual scientist. So it's not just me telling you that. So I've talked your ear off the last couple of weeks about science and faith. And even though I can't address every issue about science and faith, I think we could look at a couple examples of how they can work together. So like we've talked about a little bit, there's two main views when it comes to science and faith. One, that science and faith are two separate endeavors. They're two separate kind of fields with different purposes, methods, and bodies of knowledge, okay? That they're separate. And then there's the other view that science and faith can help answer some of the same questions, and so we need them both, okay? So we're going to kind of look at those two views, kind of see how they're different, but also how they can work together. So it's kind of one of those things that they're different, but yet they can be helpful together. So we're going to look at that and kind of see a little bit about that tonight. So are they really separate? I mean, some believe that science and faith emphasize different things. That science, it's a system of knowledge about the world and its behavior, but religion is just about morality. It's about God, it's about the afterlife. And, with this view, they can't contradict one another because they're essentially addressing different kinds of questions, different sorts of questions. This view is helpful to remind us that science essentially can't answer every question because there are questions that don't fall under it. So take, for example, if I were to talk about water boiling on a pot on the stove, okay? Let's say that I'm talking about water in a pot boiling on the stove. Okay, so science would say that the water is boiling because at this temperature it undergoes this phase transition between a liquid and a vapor. Okay, but another answer might be the water's boiling because I put the pot on the stove. And a third answer might be, well, the water's boiling because my kids want mac and cheese for lunch. Okay, so none of these answers are wrong. Each one gives a different perspective on the question. So the scientific answer doesn't really give the whole story. So science, it can answer a lot of questions about the physical world, but we should not be tempted to think that it can help us understand everything in life. Okay, no amount of science can help us answer the question, does God exist? Okay, we can see a lot of indirect evidence for God and who he is, but there's no direct evidence that God exists that science can show us. Science studies the natural world, not the supernatural. But this also reminds us that the Bible, it really can't be our only source of knowledge either. You know, sometimes people talk about the Bible as like a manual for life, that you can find every answer in there that you possibly need. But the Bible doesn't tell us anything about protons or photosynthesis or penguins or Pluto, which, in my opinion, is still a planet. So hashtag save Pluto. The Bible is not a science textbook. It wasn't written that way. It's not a textbook about plumbing. It's not about a textbook on agriculture or economics, okay? This is not why it was written. It's a book of theology, okay? It may have elements of those things in it, but that is not its primary purpose, okay? So, yeah, they're kind of separate, but let's look now to see that maybe they interact more than we think. So, take, for example, when you're making an important decision in your life, what sources do you look to? Okay, so take for instance your choice of what to do after high school. Okay, so some of you are in middle school, you haven't even thought about what you're going to do after high school. Some of you, there's a few of you that are seniors, you're already thinking about what's going to happen when you graduate. So for many of you, you may go to college, you may go to a technical school, you may go into the workforce, you may join the military, you may just live at your parents' house until you figure out what you want to do with your life. There's a bunch of different options, but how do you make that choice? You know, you're probably going to talk to your parents about it, or your friends. You may look up information online. You may visit a school or visit a recruiter. You may pray about it. You could ask God to lead you. You're probably aren't going to join the military after high school just because you saw a pop-up ad on your computer. This is big decisions, okay? You're probably going to talk to people about it, and you're really going to think about it. That's what we do with big decisions. And so for these big questions, we've got to be consulting more than just one source. And so when it comes to science and faith, we've got to look at both for a lot of instances. So we can't just rely on one source. God gave us both. So if you're asking questions about, say, evolution, or medical ethics. Okay, medical ethics, that's just a big word for finding the best course of action for a medical problem by using values and facts and logic. Okay, and trying to figure out the best course of action. Okay, so you need to look at both if you're going to talk about medical ethics or climate change. For that fact, you're going to need to probably consult both of those because science has a lot to say on it. But the Bible also talks a lot about creation and what our role is with creation. And so you're going to need to consider both science and faith when seeking out God's truth. It doesn't make sense to handicap ourselves by looking at only one source. Okay? It's not good. We might as well look at what God has given us to try to make our decision from there. So God reveals himself in the book of Scripture, but also in the book of nature, all right, of science. To learn more about God and his work, we study both books. When one book is maybe confusing or ambiguous, we don't really quite know what it says, then insights from the other book can help us understand it. So in both, we're looking for the underlying truth of who God is and how he made the world, okay? Because that's what we're about as Christians. When we follow God, we want to know who is God and how did he make this world. We want to know those kind of things. So maybe you've heard, let me give you an example of genetic engineering, okay? Basically, it's this process of arranging genetics so that you could essentially have a baby that is free from disease, or you could have a baby that essentially that could be however you want it to be. Maybe you really want to, and this is still in the very beginning stages, and I think China's done a little bit on this, but it's not something that's like being done all over the world. Okay, so I don't want you to get the wrong impression, but it has been theorized, and it is possible, but we're not there yet. So essentially, you could engineer a baby that has blue eyes and is blonde and is going to be tall and will play basketball one day or something like that. And so obviously, this raises some questions about, is that okay or not? It could be that our faith could inform this process better. All right, our faith could have something to say about this. That if we're genetically engineering our own babies to get what we want, Christianity can lay this groundwork for these moral standards of how we use science and technology. All right, so that's one thing to think about. So science, it can have a positive impact on the faith of the believer as well. In Scripture, it's Psalm 19:1, it says, "The heavens declare the glory of God." God's glory is revealed when you just look up at the stars, or you study like the intricate symmetry of a maple leaf, or you look at the complex biochemical activity inside of living cells. I mean, all you got to do is observe these kind of things, and you can see some amazing things. Science and technology has shown us more of God's creation than was known during Bible times. I mean, they didn't have a telescope. They couldn't look up to the heavens. They didn't even know what planets were. And yet science has given us this gift and shown us more and more and revealed to us God's glory in what He's created around us. So science is amazing. So I don't say any of this to say, oh, faith is better and science is down here. Okay, that's not what I'm saying at all. I think they're both great and good and can help us love God better, follow Him, and help others follow Him as well. So we need science and faith. We need them both. They often answer different questions, yes. But, and this is the main point, this is the main thing I want you to get out of all of this, okay? Science helps us appreciate our amazing world. I've already talked about this part. And faith helps guide science in moral standards, okay? It helps scientists make decisions based on morals and values, so that they're not just doing crazy things and, taking over the world or really hurting our world in some kind of way or not. So faith can help science, and science can help faith. You don't have to choose just one. All right? And that's the point of this whole series. For some reason, our culture has gotten to this place where essentially we have put science and faith at war with one another. And I don't think that has to be the case. And that's the whole reason we did this series, is because I don't want you to graduate from high school and go to college and then learn all of these new and different things about science and then immediately begin having this kind of war with your faith. Because they can go together, they can work together, they can help one another out. Both of them are things that God has given us to help us follow Him, to help us love Him, to admire His glory, to figure out how to use science and technology in a moral and helpful and beneficial way. It can guide us. It can help us. And I think you might have got that sense a little bit from Laura's video as well. She's a scientist, but she loves Jesus, and she wants to follow God, and she sees God in the midst of her work. That's an amazing testament to science and this gift that God has given to us. All right, that is the end of our devotion for tonight. I've got some names here in the cup. I'm going to go ahead and draw one, and you'll get some candy. Please be sure to text me or put in the live chat what kind of candy you would like, because I want to be able to get you the candy that you want. So here we go. Oh, look at it. It has been 2 sisters in a row. It is Addie. That's right. Addie White has got candy for the week. Nice. Her younger sister got it last week, and now she's got it this week. There's something with the Whites. They're having a good luck streak right now. So Addie, be sure you text me what kind of candy you would like, and I will make sure to get you piles and piles and piles of it, so that your mom and dad are like, oh no, we don't want her to have this much candy. No, I won't get you piles and piles, but I will get you some. So please let me know what you would like. I want to get that to you. So a couple things, just to remind you about announcements before I sign off on here. Don't forget that in 2 weeks, we will be back in person. We will no longer be doing Collision Live. We won't be doing live streams. We're going to be in person at church Sunday nights at 6:30. So we're going to start that first Sunday in October. You're going to have to wear your mask. I'm going to be doing temperature checks, and we're going to be sitting far apart from one another. And our games will even be organized in a way that we won't be in close contact with one another. So I hope that you can join us. I hope that you invite your friends. I'd love to see so many of you there. It would be amazing to do that. And so I'd love to see you there. The other thing as well, don't forget about our pumpkin run. It is our church's fundraiser for our Mother's Day Out program and for the youth programs. So we're going to be doing that on Halloween morning, October 31st. So if you'd like to sign up for that, I did put the link below this video. If you don't see it there, you may need to reload your page because I did have to edit that. So that is down at the bottom. So, all right, that is all I got. You guys have an amazing week. I'm praying for you. I hope that school goes great this week. Don't forget, God loves you so much. He loves you more than you can imagine or dream. And he wants you to have joy in your life. And that joy can only be found in him. So follow him close this week. Read a passage of scripture maybe once or twice this week. And let him lead you and guide you. If you ever need anything, reach out to me. You can always call me. You can text or email. You can send a carrier pigeon if you want. But I'd love to hear from you. If you need anything, that's why I'm here. So, all right, I love you guys. You guys take care, and you have an awesome week. See you later.